Hello, my name is Richard. Now I wanted to demonstrate a little electronic device I designed for my scale rail control cars. It's called the Few Functions Unit, or FFU for short. It all started over a year ago when I wanted to add a horn to my cars, an audible horn, as my young son loves to hear cars honk. So I wanted my RC cars to honk at him. So I'll start off with that first functions that I made for it. I pre-recorded horns from trucks and in digital form, and I passed it through a little microcontroller called a PIC, through an amplifier and a little speaker, and it sounds like this. So I just have about 100 or 200 milliseconds of horn recording in there, and I just loop it, and it plays out like that. Now, since this little microcontroller is so flexible, I wrote the software for it, or some of the software for it. I decided I'm using an extra channel on my radio, a third channel, but I decided I could also use it to control some lights. So if I move it to the right, it's the horn for as long as I want, and if I move it to the left a little quickly, I can turn my lights on or cycle them as I please. Now, I also wanted to add more functions, but I only have a 4-channel radio, and I have a 2-speed tranny in this car, so I wanted to put more functions on the one channel. So what I did is, if I move my auxiliary channel to the left for over a second, I hear a honk, and that's the signal that I change functions. So now I can control my winch. So I can winch out, and if I push to the left quickly again, it changes direction. So now it's in. Change direction, change direction. Now when I'm done winching, and I want to go back to controlling my lights and my horn, I push to the left for a second, and I'm back to lights and horn. Now let's have a look inside to see what it looks like physically. So here's the speaker down here. It's just a little 3-watt rectangular speaker. I put it in the front, of course, so it's the same location as a real car. And out the back end here, flip this around, you can see all this little circuitry here with lots of wires connected to it is that little microcontroller circuit I was talking about. So the red PCB at the top is a purchase unit. It's called a USB bit whacker, which you can get from sparkfun.com. I have a hard time getting it out here to have a good show. It's got a USB port for either serial communication and downloading new firmware. And then the big PCB underneath here is my own doing. From amplifiers and transistors, and of course the audio amplifier. And finally, this little underneath this little ball of electrical tape is the motor controller for the winch control. Now the plan is to make a custom PCB to make it all fit in there much nicer than it is right now, of course. And then I'll be able to also build more for my other cars.